a little that way because of the payoff.
always thinking outside the box. You see Mike Krzyzewski, 985 career wins, walking across the court. What's the key to this game tonight?
I think the key is going to be rebounding. Michigan State is an outstanding rebounding team. They're going to go hard to the glass. The guards have got to rebound for both teams. I think the team that rebounds the ball better is going to win.
Michigan State's got to compete offensively. I think the D is back in Duke. They're going to try to take him out. Michigan State's going to have to work to get open and drive it on opportunity.
Michigan State cannot leave shooters open on the perimeter, and I think whoever guards Jahlil Okafor has to meet him early and make him work for post position.
That might be a little bit different than what Okafor experienced in his first two games.
Exactly.
Michigan State taking the floor. They're well represented by their fans who've made the trek down from the state of Michigan to see the Spartans get their first big test of this season. Michigan State playing 6 of its first 8 games away from home. You're going to find out a lot about the Spartans over the next few games. You're going to find out a lot tonight about them and the Blue Devils. State Farm Champions Classic about to tip off. We'll start with Duke and Michigan State. See you at halftime.
What can you become? Dreaming of that moment when they call your name. Every waking second, building to that day. Glory, honor, champion. But to get there, you gotta work. And right now is the time to make your mark.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Snap it, let's get moving. Way to work. Way to work. Don't slow down.
Let's go. Make this play.
Switch.
You're not pressure on the ball.
Come out strong. Make a statement. And there is no backing down. Elite teams, elite talent.
You ready to fight? Get after him.
All the hard work has led to the start of this new season. Michigan State Duke in the Champions Classic.
Welcome to the beginning of a great night of basketball here in Indianapolis. It's the State Farm Champions Classic for the 4th consecutive year. This game is a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Game 1, Michigan State and Duke, Tom Izzo's Spartans, Mike Krzyzewski's Blue Devils, with Kansas and Kentucky still to come. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Indianapolis. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale, and this should be great. Before we talk about tonight's games, big picture as we start the college basketball season, what's on your mind?
Well, you know, Dan, when we think about the big picture, everywhere I go, people are talking Kentucky. The fact of the matter is, they have 9 McDonald's All-Americans. You don't have to go to Harvard to figure it out. They got 4 on their second team. Most people are saying they could go unblemished. Well, let me tell you, my friends, the beauty of college basketball, not the NBA. It's not 4 out of 7. One bad night, the party's over. And tonight, we'll have all kinds of stars. Diaper dandies, we'll have PTPers, and we got you.
All right, give me a key to game 1. We got Duke and Michigan State. Both have already played so far this season. What's the key tonight?
Well, you know, you look at Duke, they got the big guy inside, Okafor, a young post presence. You look about Duke, you think about transition. They're very deep. I think the key is tempo, tempo, tempo. Tom Izzo's going to have to control the tempo of the game. Can his team do it? That'll be the key question.
We're just a few minutes away from the tip-off of game 1. For the anthem and the starting lineups, we're going to send it over to the PA announcer here in Indianapolis, Michael Grady.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Bankers Life Fieldhouse in the heart of basketball country. I'm Michael Grady, your announcer for tonight's State Farm Champions Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Ben Davis High School Junior ROTC presents our nation's colors. And join in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Marlena Van Hoos.
Guard, halt!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Well done. Here we go with Michigan State and Duke. Let's talk about the Blue Devils first, Dickie V. And for a lot of people, this is the first time they'll get a chance to see one of the top incoming freshmen in all of basketball, Jahlil Okafor.
Tell you one thing, when you talk about Okafor, you get back to the olden days. A true low post player. Watch him right here in a post. Has great feel for the game. He sees a gap, and he's going to explode to the gap with his left hand. Very strong, very physical. Now we're going to take a look at him right here. He's going to make a move with a little jump shot as the defense backs away. Shows great poise. Now the double team. Look at the great vision. Kicks the ball out, but he's not done yet. Watch him get on the offensive boards. I mean, he is so strong physically. He's working, keeps his poise, patience. This is one special player.
And for Michigan State, Brandon Dawson is now a senior. For them to be great, does he have to be great?
Yeah, he has to have really a super game. Here he is now going to see a double team. Watch him read the double team. They leave. He makes the little turn, goes over the left shoulder. Now we're going to watch him right here. He's going to catch the ball in traffic against the zone. He gets it in traffic, goes right to the gap, and gets to the basket. Now we're going to watch him right here as he's going to get on the offensive boards. Watch him work the glass. He's a multi-dimensional player.
Time now for the starting lineups here in Indianapolis. Back to the PA announcer, Michael Grady.
And the Michigan State Spartans. Now let's meet tonight's starters. At guard for Michigan State, number 20, Travis Trice. At guard for Duke, number 5, Tyus Jones. At guard for Michigan State, number 5, Brent Ford. At guard for Duke, number 2, Quinn Cook. At guard for Michigan State, number 45, Denzel Valentine. At guard for Duke, number 12, Justice Winslow. At forward for Michigan State, number 22, Brandon Dawson. At forward for Duke, number 21, Emil Jefferson. At forward for Michigan State, number 10, Matt Costello. And at center for Duke, number 15, Jahlil Okafor. The head coach for Michigan State is Tom Izzo. And the head coach for Duke is Mike Krzyzewski.
Will lead his Duke Blue Devils against the Michigan State Spartans tonight. The first game of 2 we've got for you. Tom Izzo standing by with Andy Katz.
Talk to your team before this game tips off. What do you need to tell them that they must do here in the first 4 minutes of the game?
Well, I think handle their pressure, you know, not turn the ball over, not make a foolish foul when they go into Okafor early. Those would be the two things.
Appreciate it, Tom. Thanks,
Andy.
Back to you, Dan.
All right, Andy, thank you. How great is this event to see 4 programs of this magnitude meeting this early in the season? This is the 4th annual. We'll do it again next year in Chicago, do it again the year after that in New York, and what a great way to really get the college basketball season going. Let's take a look now at tonight's Sonic Showdown. One guy's in the Hall of Fame. The other guy's a lock to be there one day. They've combined for 5 national championships, 17 Final Fours, and 36 conference titles. That's regular season and conference tournaments combined. You've had a chance to talk to both coaches. What kind of a feel do you get for their teams?
Well, you know, I think when you talk to Mike Krzyzewski, he's really excited about the fact that you can go to your bench and get guys like Suleiman, this kid Grayson Allen, very deep. But Tom Izzo, he doesn't have all his parts. He's got 3 key players that are really not healthy right now, and that really puts him in a little bit of a jam. He lost some quality people from last year. Won 29 games. Think about this. He's won 7 Big Ten titles in his 19 years as a coach. Now entering his 20th at Michigan State.
Duke and Michigan State, the Blue Devils, the home team in white uniforms, the Spartans in division in green. Both teams well represented here in the building, although it does skew heavily towards Duke in the crowd right now.
Tell you, finishing number 2 in recruiting is not always a good thing. Tom Izzo said, you know, he finished, well, he was right there for Okafor. He was right there for Jamari Parker as well.
And Okafor and Tyus Jones committed as a duo. They committed together. They chose Durham. And it'll be Duke ball to begin the night. There are 3 freshmen starting right now for the Blue Devils. You're looking at Jahlil Okafor and also Tyus Jones, who we mentioned, and Justice Winslow, who has been tremendous in the early going for the Blue Devils. That's him with a pass and the lay-in for Okafor.
Ryan gets the penetration, kicks it off to his diaper dandy buddy. Okafor gets an easy layup inside. He's very explosive when you talk about Winslow.
Travis Trice, the senior, now the floor leader, the general for the Spartans, a guy who's battled all kinds of injuries and an illness a couple of years ago, had 25 points in a season-opening win over Navy, and they needed all of them as they won by 5. He hands it off to Denzel Valentine, who knocks it down.
See, I think a key player for them is Valentine. I think Trice is going to be consistent. He's going to put points on the board with the trifecta. Good leader.
And the lay-in by Okafor, and the Blue Devils sharp in their first 2 possessions.
Well, really very effective right there with good penetration. They lay it up. The one thing about Okafor, he understands how to play. Has a great basketball IQ. Again, I saw him in high school at the City Palms tournament. I was so blown away by his ability to play in the post and recognize double teams and find open men.
Trice, double teamed on the perimeter, turns it over. Jones into Okafor, defended by Matt Costello, who's going to have his hands full tonight. Good cut, nice pass, and Emil Jefferson with the assist to Tyus Jones.
You know, it's amazing this early in the season you see that kind of execution. What efficiency right there. Sharing the basketball, finding the open guy.
Duke has routed its first 2 opponents. Presbyterian 113-44, and then Fairfield 109-59. Valentine the miss, Dawson the offensive rebound, Okafor the steal, Jefferson out ahead of the pack.
Not the way you want to start. You talk about tempo. Right now the tempo's all Duke. They're getting up and down the floor, able to do what they want. So I think they're a much better team defensively this year than they were last year. And one of the reasons, post presence. Because last year they were last in the ACC in teams in terms of defensively, and a 3-second area was scoring on them as will.
Trice knocks down the jumper, 8-4. As good as the Blue Devils were last year, they lost Jabari Parker, Rodney Hood, and others. They didn't have the size that they have this year in Okafor. Mike Krzyzewski says the pieces of the puzzle fit together a little better this year than they did last year.
Well, absolutely, because he draws so much attention. He's going to leave open guys. Hey, but Trice is going to make shots for Tom Izzo's basketball team. I think he's going to have a heck of a year. A little screen and roll right here. There's a little simple play. Screen, roll, go to the basket, and Okafor gets a little layup. There's the dump down into him. Great catch, and he makes a score.
Okafor was called for the offensive foul on the last trip, using a bit of a chicken wing move to try to get around Costello. Very Very important for Michigan State that their two bigs, Matt Costello and Gavin Schilling, can stay out of foul trouble in this game.
Well, they had a very deep basketball team. I think got really like 8 legit players right out here now.
8 healthy scholarship players tonight for Tom Izzo. That's it. Costello left alone, can't finish, and Okafor the rebound.
Got to score right there. He's got to finish that play. Had an open lane to the goal.
Costello and Okafor. Looks like it'll be a night-long battle for position down on the block.
They're not going to double up on him either. They're going to play him one-on-one as he feels if I double up on him, he'll find open people. He's that good of a passer.
He's got 6. Duke leads by 6. And that one's going to go against Brandon Dawson on the discard there of Emil Jefferson.
Dawson's going to have a big night here tonight for them to be able to survive against the arsenal that Duke has.
Early substitution for Tom Izzo. Gavin Schilling into the game. Matt Costello will sit down. Remember Kenny Kaminsky, another big man from Michigan State, but he was dismissed from the program. That was a loss. Also, Javon Bess, a very talented freshman, is out with a broken foot. Alvin Ellis, who started the first game at the 2-guard, sprained his ankle. So, as you mentioned, Dick, they are depleted right now.
No, Ellis is a slasher. We've had him a few games. He came off the bench last year, gave him some productive minutes.
Cook the drive, forces it up, gets it to go.
You're talking about a veteran player. He's been a little bit up and down in his career, but he's got a lot of abilities, had a lot of magical moments, Cook.
The senior from Washington, D.C. surpassed the 1,000-point mark in Duke's last game against Fairfield.
How good is the city in Chicago, the Windy City, been good to do? Mike Krzyzewski, Mr. Parker, and Mr. Okafor.
Okafor from Chicago and Tyus Jones, his buddy from Apple Valley, Minnesota. They committed as a combo. Here's a deep 3 for Bryn Forbes, a transfer from Cleveland State. Misses it. Valentine's wide open, and he buries it.
You know, Valentine's a multi-dimensional guy. He can pass the ball. He has great vision as a passer. He's going to have to be now a star, not a role player like it was last year, because they had Harris, Appling, they had Payne.
Well, Tom Izzo feels as good as they were last year that Trice and Valentine are great natural leaders, and they're now 2 of the go-to guys on this team. Look at this reverse by Okafor. Anything he wants right now.
Hey, is he as good as advertised or what? Unbelievable. I see your eyes getting big and big. Oh,
he might be better than advertised.
I remember watching LeBron James in high school with you. I said it then.
How about this move? They need more of that from Brandon Dawson.
He's a big-time player who really finished the season strong after that emotional moment when he broke a bone in his hand, punching the table.
Yep. How about Duke so far, Dick? They're 7 for 7 from the field.
That's pretty good offensive efficiency right there. A little turnover.
Valentine, who had a triple-double in one of Michigan State's exhibition games. Schilling wasn't looking for the pass. And then a foul at the other end on the drive by Cook to take us to immediate timeout.
We got a diaper dandy right here, and this is a deluxe diaper dandy. There he is with the nice reverse, makes the layup, and then we got a PTP here. We got Mr. Dawson. He's been around the block. He can flat out play.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. Gildan, we make your favorite activewear, underwear, and socks. At Gildan, every thread counts. And your next truck, Ford F-150.
Back at Bankers Life Fieldhouse here in Indianapolis, the Champions Classic, and Duke off to a great start, leading Michigan State 14-9. We'd like to welcome one of the newest members of our college basketball team here on ESPN, Shane Battier, to the crew. And Shane, you played with a pretty good big man in Elton Brand. You're watching a good one tonight, Jahlil Okafor.
We're going to taste why Jahlil Okafor was #1 recruit coming in last year. He's so tough once he catches the ball on the block. He's 3 for 4 so far. Key to defending a guy like that, push him out. Make his catches tough. Make him catch it instead of 8 feet from the basket, 10 feet from the basket. And then pray he's going to miss. So far, hasn't missed too much.
And Dick, we've seen him score with a left hand, with a right hand, on a turnaround, on an up and under. He's got a lot of offensive game.
What really I like about him is versatility, his ability to turn, shoot the little jump shot, and he's a great team player. He's all about, I talked to him after the high school game, and I was so impressed up there in Fort Myers when he said to me, it's all about winning, and that's exactly the way he plays. He's an unselfish winner.
Marshall Plumlee has checked into the game, so Okafor is on the bench right now for Duke. Matt Jones is in as well. And Rashid Suleiman and Shemi Ojale. So Mike Krzyzewski's already gone 9 deep on his team. A little pressure here for the Blue Devils. Suleiman, a guy last year up and down. Remember we did a game against Michigan. He didn't get off the bench, did not play. Mike Krzyzewski says right now he's playing great, even though he's not scoring the ball, but he's doing so many other things well.
Well, he's happened in. He's defended really well, playing with the team concept, not worried about scoring. I think in the past he was always evaluated in the eyes of people by the number of points he scored.
Michigan State with the ball down by 5.
Pretty good when you go to your bench and come up guys like Suleiman, I can tell you that.
Rejection by Plumlee. Valentine gets it back off a leg. Dawson can't get the bounce, and Ojale down with a rebound. He played only 80 minutes last year. You can see the physique on him that he is, and he had that last year. He is ready to play, but he's ready to step into a larger role, it looks like, this year for the Duke Blue Devils.
Well, Ojale and Coach K, one of the most improved players on the team.
And a little pressure here. This is Lou Rawls, Tum Nairn Jr., number 11 for Michigan State with the ball right now. They're a pure point guard, pass first guy, and gets the floater to go. We'll just call him Tum for short. How's that?
That little Lou Rawls.
Yeah.
See, you don't know Lou Rawls.
I know Lou Rawls.
No, you're all about One Direction.
Oh, yeah.
You're not
I
Lou
got that
Rawls.
written all over me.
You're One Direction all the way.
So he is Lou Rawls Tum Nairn Jr. So obviously his grandparents had an affinity for Lou Rawls. Tum comes from the fact that when he was a kid, he was always eating, and his mom nicknamed him Tum, and it has stuck. But boy, do they love him at Michigan State, saying he's got unbelievable leadership qualities.
Oh, that's interference up there.
Yeah. Basket interference on Duke, Michigan State ball. The Puerto Rico tip-off begins Thursday, 10:30 a.m. on ESPNU. It concludes with the championship game, 6:30 p.m. Sunday on ESPN2. UConn will be there. West Virginia will be there as well. Texas A&M, some good, strong teams. How about the recruiting class Texas A&M has coming in next year as Okafor checks back into the game. 21 for 24 from the field for Okafor through 2 games plus tonight in the regular season.
Well, you know, the stats in the first 2 games, it's a little misleading because really, I mean, it's Cupcake City. Not to say anything negative about those programs, but personnel-wise, they can't match up with a Duke. That's why a lot of the games early, you look at them and you say, wow, but this is legit basketball.
A battle for the rebound. Dawson up with it, had it knocked away, gets it back, lost it again. The scramble continues, and eventually it's going to be Duke ball.
See, that's where Michigan State usually excels. If it gets physical and it's about tenacity and toughness, that's what Tom Izzo's all about. He's been a tough guy all his life. He's had a scrap and claw to get where he is. And the bottom line is his clubs over the years have played with that kind of personality.
Last year they had a great team, a team that looked like it could make a deep, deep run into March. They got as far as the Elite Eight. They played with a lot of injuries last year. Appling got hurt. Harris was hurt for a while. Payne was hurt. Costello was out with a mono. They've lost a ton of talent. Last year was the first 4-year class for Tom Izzo that did play in a Final Four.
Dan, my feeling was that it was probably the best potential team that he ever had. But they never had all the ports there. You had Harris out, you had Payne out, you had Dawson out. Appling was a big loss when he got hurt. They were terrific when they had all their ports. They got beat by Connecticut, the ultimate national champs, and Connecticut made 21 out of 22 free throws down the stretch and really made them all count. That was the difference there at Madison Square Garden.
Matt Jones, a good defender, trying to stay with Valentine, but he can't. Valentine gets by him on the baseline.
Valentine, very impressive here. His dad played at Michigan State years ago, coached him on a high school level.
And there's his brother Drew, who played at Oakland and is now a graduate manager at the Michigan State program. Tyus Jones misses the 3.
That's not his strength. His strength is passing the basketball, think pass, get it to open people. He is a legit point guard, highly recruited. In fact, Tom Izzo said he was after him as well.
Nairn, look at that pass off the fingertips, though, of Schilling. Numbers now for Duke. Matt Jones, Justice Winslow.
What really impresses me early in the game is the unselfishness of the Duke team, the way they share the basketball.
They've got 5 assists already on 9 field goals tonight. Another one for Valentine, keeping them in the game.
He's really having a special night thus far.
He's got 9.
I think you're going to go a little help here. Can't let him go one-on-one. That's a bad shot, though. He did a great job defending him there in that post.
Left the jump hook short. And the Spartans looking to cut into the deficit even further. Valentine feeling it. And the rebound for Okafor.
One thing about a Thomasville team, they will never, ever back down from anyone. Never be intimidated, and they will scrap and they will claw.
And a good long stretch without a whistle here. And of course, there's a whistle to take us to a timeout.
A little love right here. We're going to see Mr. Valentine with a little love. A little jump shot, medium range, Jay. And then on the baseline. Watch Mr. Valentine. He's showing his versatility. Hoops, baby. Gotta love it there.
Along with Andy Katz, Shane Battier, Dick Vitale, cast of thousands. Dan Schulman here with the State Farm Champions Classic in Duke, leading by 5 for a lot of people, Dick. Their first look at Jahlil Okafor, he has been impressive.
Well, Jahlil right now, look at the space he's going to create for the little jump shot. Not many freshmen have that kind of poise. He creates that. Now look at right here, spinning on the baseline, and there's the reverse layup. Great post presence. Now I'm going to watch his ability, and when he attracts, he's going to create cuts, open guys. And they're going to share the ball down the lane. I'm going to give it to my buddy, Mr. Jefferson, for a layup. I mean, that's just terrific execution. But a lot of it's created by the post presence of Okafor.
Known as a very good and willing passer as well, so sometimes you get caught. If you double him, he's good enough and big enough to pass out of that double team.
He can really pass for a post player. So skilled for a big guy inside. And a rare breed. You don't get many big guys today that want to lock in a box and throw a play at the perimeter.
Winslow with a size advantage on Forbes. Misses the jump hook. Rebound Trice. The lob. Still in play. Michigan State loves to run whenever they can. Trice almost stepped out of bounds and now retains possession. It's out off Winslow.
You know, Trice got a lot of minutes last year, especially in a situation where Appling had that physical problem. Problem with his wrist, couldn't shoot. You got Harris right now in pain. You lose guys like that, they're first-round draft choices.
Well, they don't win the Navy game on Friday without Trice. They won 64-59 over Navy, and Trice had 25 points. Rejection at the rim by Jefferson.
Jefferson rotated over, good defensive play in the help position.
Quinn Cook, yes.
To make you pay, there's the block shot. Come back up the other way and get a big 3 out of cut. They got so many weapons. They can hurt you in every position on the floor.
Quinn Cook, Travis Trice, both seniors. They played in all 4 of these Champions Classics. Remember, the first game was back in New York 3 years ago, and that was when Mike Krzyzewski, in a win over Michigan State, passed Bob Knight for the all-time win total.
That was very emotional. Bob Knight was right there. Nice play.
Beautiful. Costello from Trice.
Great 2-man play right there. 2 veteran players. You got to like Trice. Great leader, according to Tom Izzo. Same with Valentine. He didn't feel that he had great leadership last year.
Felt last year they had great chemistry. Feels this year they have great chemistry and great leadership. Maybe not as much talent, but better leadership. We'll see how it pans out for the Spartans in the Big Ten, where I think going into the season, everybody would agree Wisconsin would be the favorite.
And keep an eye on the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Remember the name, D'Angelo Russell, and they are legit. They're going to really, I think, surprise some people.
Now the play called on Marvin Clark Jr. That's his first. That's the 4th on Michigan State.
Take a look, Trice right here. Nice little dish off to Costello. Costello with the flush, the finish. You're going to see the block shot. Look at Jefferson rotating over defensively. He had a good angle for the block shot.
Talk about a guy who doesn't get a lot of attention, but does so many different things for Duke, and that's Emil Jefferson at the line right now. Often had to play out of position against centers last year. With the arrival of Okafor, he gets a chance to play power forward against guys more his size.
And with Okafor on the floor, he's going to get a lot of offensive rebounds. He's going to get offensive rebounds. Teams are going to rotate over to Okafor, and he's going to be right there for a little layup.
Pretty high-level basketball we've seen through the first 11 minutes here of Game 1. Don't forget, Kansas and Kentucky still to come tonight here in Indianapolis in the second game of the State Farm Champions Classic.
You know, Big Blue Nation a little bit scared there from Bob Hurley and Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo was leading at the half.
And then that depth, the size, the ability off the bench, Ulysses.
Costello, all day to think about it, misses the three. Maybe too much time to think about it.
Got to catch and shoot that rock, baby. Got to shoot it.
Tyus Jones off to Quinn Cook, corner three.
He can put points on the board quickly. Rotated over to the 2-guard spot.
That's already his 9th three of the season. He's 9 for 17 shooting threes in the early going this year.
Tell you one thing, they must have some great competition in practice, trying to earn that PT playing time when you have people like that. And that's a big luxury right now, John Calipari and Kentucky.
With the platoon system he's got going. More on that in game 2. 2 separate groups of 5 throughout the game. Nice shot fake, step back jumper. Wow, that is tough from Travis Trice.
Travis Trice is a big-time player. He really is. He has great feel. I love guys that can shoot the basketball. A lot of guys can penetrate. They can't finish. They can't make shots.
Okafor, one-on-one. A little help there from Valentine. Knocked away. Still Duke ball.
Tom Izzo has decided going to play him one-on-one Okafor on the inside because of his passing ability.
Winslow misses the jumper, and the rebound down to Dawson. Nair.
Nice pass.
Dawson got a chance for three.
Nice pass by Tum Tum. Tum Tum. He likes Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls. Lady Love. You know Lady Love? That's one of Lou Rawls' favorite songs years ago. A little Lady Love. There's Tum Tum. Dumps it off, and then has the finish. What a nice pass by Tum Tum.
Players play, tough players win. I think it's a quality we look at for in all people, you know. Can a guy bounce back? Can a guy get up off the mat? It means getting up one more time and you're knocked down. Every coach is looking for a team that's resilient.
Dick, very few programs have become as synonymous with toughness as Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartan program over the last 20 years.
Well, they've been always a great rebounding basketball team. Right now, like you told us before the game, he just wishes they had all his points right now. Played really well early, and then they had that Navy game. He said we did not play well. In fact, Notre Dame, I think 48 hours later, just blew out the midship.
3-point play for Dawson. He's got 5. Michigan State is back within 5. 7:40 to go here in the first half.
You know, they're within 5, and they've only 1 for 7 shooting threes.
That ball's kept alive. Looked like there might have been a little goaltending there on Michigan State, but they play on it. Eventually, the Blue Devils draw the foul.
Well, Jefferson getting the ball in deep, doing a great job bringing the ball in deep. You know, last year, Duke really lived with the 3. They dominated in conference play, shooting the 3.
At the line now for Duke, Justice Winslow, 6'6", 225. Duke hasn't had a player like this in a while. A true wing, a guy who can guard a number of different positions. He can score inside, he can score outside. He's got some of the attributes that Mr. Battier has over there sitting underneath the basket. But this is a guy who they feel is physically ready and can help them in a number of different ways.
You know, I told Shane before the game, and I really mean this. If I had to look at my career at ESPN, going to my 36th year, and they asked me to pick 10 players from what they did on a collegiate level, he would be on my team. There is no doubt about it. He was the consummate, great all-around team player, and he'll do a great job with us at ESPN.
Yep, glad to have him aboard. Also, Jim Calhoun is with us, the Hall of Fame coach from Connecticut, and he'll be alongside for the ride in the second game between Kentucky and Kansas. Dawson driving again, but he's called for the offensive foul. Stepping in to take the charge is Jefferson. Number 2 on Dawson, and that's going to send him to the bench as freshman Marvin Clark Jr. for Kansas City checks in.
I'll tell you one thing, they've changed one rule this year. One rule. They went back to the old rule in taking the charge. And last year they were getting a little confused in terms of was he in motion as a shooter. So they decided, I spoke to John Adams, who has done a great job representing the NCAA ahead of the officials, and they decided it was too difficult for officials to determine.
So now if the defender is set, if the defender is in a legal guarding position before the offensive player leaves the court, before he rises up into the air, then that'll constitute a charge.
I love the way you demonstrated that. I think I'm going to recommend you, because Mr. Adams has stepped aside starting next year. I think you'd be great at that. I can
like
see you doing clinics.
I like this gig.
No, you like the paycheck.
I'm very happy with our seats right now. I'm very happy.
No, you're happy with the paycheck that comes with this.
And there it is. There's the official rule out of the rule book. Good job by guys in the truck there. Winslow back to the free throw line for Duke.
Been really tough now playing without Dawson on the floor. And they're going to have to make some threes, something they have not been able to do, Michigan State, thus far in this game.
Dawson has 2, and also let's not forget that Valentine, who was their big scorer early in the game, he's got 2 fouls, and is Tom Izzo going to try to get through the rest of the half without those 2 key players?
I think we'll see them back on the floor. I really do. I know Al McGuire, Al McGuire still always believe. I'm not worried about 2. I'm going to play him.
3 freshmen in the game right now for the Spartans. Good pressure by the Blue Devils. Loose ball stays with Michigan State.
Double team on the basketball. You got to look to post someone and go opposite. Try to bring the ball to the other side of the floor and get it away from the double team.
Clark, Nairn, 2 freshmen, Clark and Nairn both in the game. Forbes is a transfer from Cleveland State, Gavin Schilling, and then Trice on the court right now for the Spartans.
Nairn's got some great handle. He really can handle a lot. Good penetrator.
5 to shoot. Nairn off the back of the iron, kept alive by Clark. Great job by Marvin Clark.
A terrific offensive rebound by Clark to keep that ball alive and then have the post presence to catch it in the lane and make the score.
Another guy who is physically ready to play at the college basketball level. Similar body type, really, to what guys like Winslow and Dawson have, as Jefferson is calling for the travel. And momentum swinging a little bit right now in favor of the Spartans. More great early season college basketball coming your way. The 2K Classic begins Thursday on ESPN2. This is in Madison Square Garden. Texas, Iowa, Syracuse, Cal, the championship game Friday, and you'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be there with John Saunders. Can't wait to get down there and see Jimmy Boeheim. Wish him a late birthday. It was his birthday yesterday. He joins the unbelievable club. Jim Calhoun's in the club. You're not in the club.
No,
the 70s club. The 70s club. Wow.
It's a pretty good group you got going.
Yeah, we got some great guys who's still working, still acting like about 25.
And I know you're excited to see Texas. Longhorns have a heck of a squad.
Texas is going to be really dominant. Iowa's got a good basketball team. That'll be a good tournament.
And we've got Clark trying to set a screen, called for the foul.
Can't give up those possessions. When you're struggling, trying to get back in the game, you can't give those kind of possessions up.
8th turnover committed by the Spartans. And Tom Izzo is going to take Clark out of the game with his 2nd. And he'll bring in Colby Wallenman, a 6'7" redshirt junior, former walk-on from Bighorn, Wyoming, a guy who played against Navy as well. And this speaks to the lack of depth. Wallenman is not a guy who comes up in the scouting report, not a guy expected to be a regular in the rotation, but with foul trouble and injuries and Kaminsky dismissed from the program, they're using a guy that maybe they didn't expect to use, and they're using him here in the first half. Okafor inside with another finish. And he's in the double figures now with 10.
He's so skilled down in the interior. They're going to have to try and get some looks from Trice from the perimeter because he can shoot the 3.
And Wallenman rejected by Okafor.
See, that's the post presence they have now. Defensively, didn't have that last year.
Excuse me, Winslow with the block. Forgive me. And down with the rebound and wrapping it up is Trice. Both teams looking to push.
But even Winslow, when you right there, also you talk about a guy like Jefferson. They got guys in the lane now that can block shots. They didn't have that last year. And Jefferson, but they didn't have the help he's got now from Winslow and Okafor.
One of the things Tom Izzo told us is his team has to stay out of foul trouble. They have not been able to do that. 3 players, each with 2 fouls, all of them on the bench right now. Coach Izzo wants a timeout. 5:01 to go. Michigan State hanging around but dealing with foul trouble as we step aside here in Indy.
What do we know about execution?
Indianapolis, Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale, Andy Katz, Shane Battier, Coach Calhoun coming later. Reese Davis, Jay Billis, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams. The Game Day gang is here as well for the Champions Classic presented by State Farm.
Hey, they're going to have a halftime old-timers game. Duke alumni. I mean, you got Billis, you got Battier, you got Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to share the basketball.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think Shane and Jay are getting many touches.
Wow.
An 8-point lead for Duke and foul trouble for Michigan State. And now a foul on Matt Jones of the Blue Devils.
This is a very dangerous time right now for Michigan State. These 5 minutes, 4:59, really dangerous. A spurt by Duke can make them go in at halftime comfortable. It's really important that you really now execute well, get good shots. They got to find a way to get Trice some looks. He's got to get some looks to shoot the three, because he is an outstanding shooter.
Bryn Forbes inbounding right in front of us. You can see he's wearing kind of a soft cast on his left hand. He has a small fracture in his wrist, but is playing through it. A guy who is a childhood friend and was a high school teammate of Denzel Valentine. Wallenman the kick, there the shot fake. Wallenman, 17-footer, got it!
Wow, he was a walk-on. You think he'll tell people about this when he gets a little older? And the stories get better and better when you get older. Trust me, I know.
Forced into the game because of some foul trouble, and he knocks down the jumper to make it a 6-point game.
They really dig in defensively. Another trademark of the Michigan State basketball team. Play with some intensity, play with some passion, play with feeling. All you young kids out there, learn to do that.
Matt Jones, a little short. Rebound down to Schilling. Michigan State looking to run again. Here's Trice. Wide open. Forbes. Got it.
Got to make that big three. Nice look by Trice. The Spartans are back. They're not going to back down. That is not their personality. That's not their coach's personality. This is big time. This is not Cupcake City. This is not blowout 120-14. When you see some of these scores, I mean, it blows my mind. I used to love cupcakes when I coached.
In and out for Suleiman. Rebound Wallenman. Pressure on the ball by Cook. The lead is down to 3 for Duke.
Sometimes done a real good job handling the basketball.
Uses the screen, gets inside. And Okafor altered the shot and then brings down the rebound.
Again, that post presence. Last year, teams were able to score on the interior. They were last in the conference in terms of giving up points in that lane.
Winslow, no hesitation for 3. 8 for Justice Winslow.
Mike Krzyzewski's eyes lit up when I asked him, you were there. I said, give me a little sketch on each freshman.
Yep.
There's 4. And wow, when he started about Winslow.
So the lead back to 6 inside 3 minutes to go, first half.
Get a screen for Trice. Get him a screen. There's the screen. Give him another one. Give him a second screen.
Tough one. A little strong on the 3. Still loose. Spartans ball. And a fresh 35 now for Michigan State.
See a lot more confidence in Trice with the ball in his hands.
He's the unquestioned floor leader this year. Valentine, also a great distributor. And then Nairn shuffled his feet, and that travel will send us to a timeout. Michigan State making a run, but then Justice Winslow with a big 3 for Duke.
Yeah, there's Winslow right there, catching the ball, the left-hander. One of the Diaper Dandies in the #1 class in America.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Burger King's 2 for $5 menu. Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5. And DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Duke leading Michigan State 35-29 along with Dick Vitale. I'm Dan Schulman. Let's send it over to the 3rd member of our team tonight. Again, here's Shane Batty.
I know it's early, first week of the season, but do not underestimate how bad Coach K wants to beat Coach Izzo and how badly Coach Izzo wants to beat Coach K. Look on the sidelines. They are grinding for every single call, every possession. They may not admit it, but this game means a lot on their personal records.
It's amazing, and Shane makes a great point. Dick, you got one coach on the verge of 1,000 wins, the other coach on the verge of 500 wins, and it's still like they're coaching their first game ever.
Well, that's what makes them special.
Yep.
It's all about today. It's not about the scrapbook and yesterday. But I'll tell you this, I really firmly believe tonight in this arena, ultimately, we're going to see 4 Hall of Fame coaches. I don't think there's any doubt they'll be dyed the Hall of Fame. John Calipari is going to win so much that they're going to make him a Hall of Famer. Bill Self and certainly Tom Izzo, I think they're close, along with Billy Donovan.
Winslow battling hard and draws the foul, and Tom Izzo is pleading with Terry Weimer, one of the officials, to no avail.
Come on, Terry, call the charge. He said, come on, Terry. He's not telling him, let's go for some linguine, I can tell you that.
The foul, I believe, was called on Trice. That's him stepping in, and Tom Izzo obviously feeling that Trice was there in time.
I see, that was one of those calls you could debate all day. Personally, I didn't think his feet were there in position at the moment.
So now Tom Izzo didn't get the call he wants from Terry Weimers. Now he's talking to Pat Driscoll.
Tom Izzo's a winner, man. Yep. He is a flat-out winner.
The lead back to 8. And double figures now for Winslow. So the freshmen have been very good. Winslow's got 10. Okafor's got 10. Tyus Jones hasn't scored yet. And we have not seen yet Grayson Allen, the other member of the new freshman class.
And they raved about him, I say, on a high school level. Very talented. That's great scoring ability.
Tom Izzo trying to ride out better than 7 minutes with some foul trouble and 3 key players on the bench. Inside 2 minutes to go now as Trice misses and Winslow down with a strong rebound.
You know, psychologically, you don't want to go in double-digit down. Really, play so hard, play short-handed.
Winslow the miss. Numbers now for Michigan State. Trice, shot fake, in and out on the 3. And the rebound for Jefferson.
He normally makes that. A little shot fake, creating space for him to shoot that jump shot.
Suleiman. Deflected by Costello. And the foul going against Winslow. Coming up at the half, the Mazda halftime report with Reese, Seth, Jay, and Jay. Analysis of the first half and then a preview of our second game tonight, Kansas and Kentucky. We talked about Kentucky a little bit earlier. Kansas, a team, of course. The headline is Wiggins is gone and Bede is gone. They've lost a lot of talent, but Bill Self brought in a lot of talent as well, and they've got a chance to be an outstanding team this year.
Well, they got 2 solid players returning, Ellis and Selden. I think Mason's going to have a big year, and they're going to, again, talk about the tempo of that game. They're going to have to control that tempo. I firmly don't believe you're going to see a platoon system all year by John Calipari. I think ultimately you're going to see him get to the 8-9 players. Nice 2-man game. Excellent pass by Trice.
Trice to Costello.
I don't think you can win the national title playing guys 20 minutes every guy, keeping them all happy. You can do that maybe during the season, but I think when you get to the February, March, and you got to really start playing quality teams come tournament time, you got to, best players play 30, 35 minutes. Nice 2-man play here.
Winslow called for another foul in the aftermath of this basket, the second on Winslow. He goes to the bench. So Michigan State here in the last minute and a half or so of the first half. They've scored a basket. They've gotten the ball back. Let's see if they can convert, get it even closer.
They have really played with a lot of passion on the defensive end, communicating with each other. That's really a sign. When you play good defense, you communicate. You got help. I got help. You screen on the left. You got to talk. You got to help one another.
About an 8.5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Trice gets the switch, has Okafor on him. Costello loses the handle.
That was the telegraph pass, man. That was telegraph.
Suleiman for 3.
That hurts. What a turnaround right there. Could be a 5-point turnaround. You could add 2 down the other end. They get 3 up this way.
A final possession for the Spartans. Nice look. And Wallenman with another bucket, and Trice with another assist. And Mike Krzyzewski will use a timeout.
Nice diagonal pass inside to Wallenman. Hey, Wallenman, you got no notes on him. We got no information. I got a scouting report on Michigan State. They don't say one thing about Wallenman. Who is Wallenman?
Come on, Matt Larson.
Come on, Wallenman, where are you? Oh, Mr. Wallenman.
2 baskets for Wallenman, and it's a 7-point lead now for Duke as they'll have a chance to add to that with 3.2 seconds left in the half.
You know, you talk about the ACC. North Carolina is going to be dynamite. I know that ugly scandal academically, but their basketball team's going to put smiles on a lot of people's faces. They are absolutely explosive.
Hey, tomorrow night, a great doubleheader, a great NBA doubleheader on ESPN. If you're a Duke fan or a Kyrie Irving fan, you can see the Cavaliers hosting the defending NBA champion San Antonio Spurs, and then the Lakers and the Rockets in the late game.
Spurs might be the reason. Shane would know this better than I, but they might be the reason why LeBron is back in Cleveland.
Shane doesn't want to talk about the Spurs.
Want to talk about that?
Shane doesn't want to talk about the Spurs.
I want to talk about LeBron. Hey, LeBron, and then when they get a little familiar with each other, they are going to have a dynamite year.
Suleiman, good if it goes. Wide right in the first half, comes to a close. A good first half, up and down action. Okafor and Winslow, big first halves for Duke. Michigan State hanging in despite foul trouble. A 7-point game with the Blue Devils leading. Midway through this game, Andy Katz is with Tom Izzo.
All right, thank you, Dan. Tom, how do you assess the way you guys handled all that kind of foul trouble?
Well, ugly in the way we played, but incredible with Dawson and Valentine on the bench the whole time. But we just didn't move the ball very good, but we got guys in there that are walk-ons right now, 2 of them.
You talked to me before the game about trying to handle Okafor. What can you do differently here at the beginning of the second half?
I don't think a lot. I think we did a decent job on Okafor. I mean, I don't know how many he got, but it was decent. But he became a passer because we're turning and not looking at guys cutting. They do a great job of back cutting, but I mean, they're getting it into him. We're forcing them out a little bit. If we make some layups, it's a tie game. You know, we didn't, our bigs didn't play very well, and yet I feel proud that we're still in it because we got a chance second half if we just take care of a few things.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Andy.
Back to you, Dan.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. Good first half. Duke 40, Michigan State 33. After the break, Reese and the guys with the Mazda halftime report. A look back at the first half of this game and a preview of Kansas and Kentucky, our second game here tonight. Welcome back to game 1 of the State Farm Champions Classic from Bankers Life Fieldhouse here in Indianapolis. This is all a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney presented by Sonic. We got Kentucky and Kansas still to come, but right now we're enjoying Michigan State and Duke. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale back with you. We saw an up and down, very entertaining first half with a lot of high-level basketball.
Well, we really did. I think really when you look at Michigan State, to be down 7, they only got 11 minutes out of Valentine, and he really played well. Okafor was really sensational, especially early in the game. I mean, he was a major factor down on the inside. A little 2-man game here, the conversion. I'm going to watch him here with a little drop step, reverse layup. And on the other side, Valentine put points on the board, but he only played 11 minutes. And he showed his multi-talent. I mean, he can really stroke it now. He's going to be a star this year. But they got to stay on the floor. He and Dawson got a foul trouble. Here he is from the left-handed drive.
Big advantage for Michigan State on the glass. 8 offensive rebounds to just 9 defensive rebounds by Duke. Big advantage for Duke in terms of forcing turnovers and converting defense into offense, something that they are always so good at. Okafor and Winslow, 2 of the freshmen, each leading the way for the Blue Devils with 10. Foul trouble a problem for Michigan State in the first half, and Valentine and Dawson back on the court with 2. Michigan State survived. They played 7 minutes without 2 key players who were out with foul trouble, and they really didn't lose much ground during that time.
Well, they can thank a kid like Wallerman comes in, gives him some good quality minutes. He's a walk-on player, gets 2 scores.
Yeah, actually, a former walk-on put on scholarship this year. He's a pre-med student. Matt Larson heard that we ran the bus over him a little bit for not having a Wallerman page in the notes. Career high in minutes and points for Colby Wallerman came in this game already tonight. 6 minutes, and he had 4 points for the Spartans.
A lot of patience right now. They want to get the ball inside to Okafor down in that box.
Costello guarding him. No double team. He kicks it out. Tyus Jones fouled on a 3-point attempt by Travis Trice.
Good look by Okafor to get the ball outside to Jones, but not a good play by a heading guy who really knows a lot better than that in terms of Trice. Went for the little fake and made contact, and now he gets 3 opportunities.
Tyus Jones in the line with 3 shots.
So 3 free throws coming for Tyus Jones, the freshman from Apple Valley, Minnesota. 6'1", 190. Had a very good game against Presbyterian. 15 points, 7 assists, 1 turnover in Duke's 69-point victory to open up the season. Duke's going from here to Brooklyn. They're going to take on Temple and then either Stanford or UNLV. They got some tough games coming, including a game at Wisconsin in a few weeks. Let's check in with Andy Katz.
Well, Dan, I just spoke with Jeff Capel, the assistant coach, before they came onto the floor, and he said, look, we are satisfied with our first shot rebound, but not their second shot rebound, giving up 8 offensive rebounds to the Spartans. Offensively, he said, we need to continue to pound that ball into Okafor, and the rest of the team, though, cannot just stand and watch him when he gets the basketball.
All right, Andy, thank you. 3 free throws for Jones, and the lead is back to 10 for Duke. Trice driving around Okafor. The kick. Valentine. Too strong, and the rebound for Jefferson. Jefferson is a terrific rebounder at both ends of the floor. Cook the drive. Cook the floater, too strong. Michigan State ball. Dawson, nice look ahead for Trice, and he'll lay it in.
Good transition basketball right there, getting the ball up and down the court. Michigan State wants to run, get out in a break. Keyed by the rebound. Now you got to play some solid defense. They're playing one-on-one on Okafor on the interior. They're not going to double them up.
Duke beat Michigan State in this event 3 years ago. Duke is 2-1. There's a foul on Costello. Duke and Michigan State are both 2-1 in this event. Kentucky and Kansas are both 1-2 in this event. 4 of the most prestigious, winningest programs in college basketball history.
You know, the last time these two teams met was in 2013, right in the city. Sweet 16, and Duke was able to prevail and move on.
First foul on Costello. And to the line goes Okafor.
So liked. He really is a liked kid by all his teammates because of his unselfishness, his team-oriented. I'm so fed up, though, with the one-and-done, what it's done to college basketball, and obviously he's going to be a one-and-done. I don't blame, certainly, a situation where you want to recruit a one-and-done. I mean, no doubt if a kid's great, can help your program. But I firmly believe, man, I firmly believe that if a kid like Okafor or a kid last year like Rick Angel Parker wanted to go to the NBA, they should be allowed to go to the NBA. And once you step on a campus for 3 years, you cannot leave a la baseball. It would bring more stability to the game.
Sure would be nice.
Yeah, take a look what's happening in the NBA now.
Yep.
Many of these young kids are not really able to contribute like people think they would. Eventually they will.
Forbes misses the 3, kept alive. Dawson gets it back. And again, the Spartans scrapping their way on the offensive glass, and it's paying off big dividends.
And that's one of their strengths for years. Dawson was brilliant at the end of the year. When he came back from that hand, when he broke that bone in his hand, he was terrific. He was MVP of the Big Ten tournament, played great in the NCAA tournament.
Winslow a deep 3, NBA distance. Okafor there for the putback.
Nobody puts a body on him. One of the lost arts in college basketball is to block out, to find a guy. But everybody wants to show how they can skywalk, jump, want to be elevator man. You got to block out, man. You got to block out. Simple, fundamental rule. Put a body on him. Nobody's got a body on him. I mean, I could score there, Dan Schulman.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
9, Mike Krzyzewski starting 3 freshmen. It's a freshman class, Dick, that is 4 deep and is viewed as the top recruiting class in the country coming in this year.
Well, Paul Biancardi, who does a phenomenal job for us with ESPN's recruiting news, rated him #1. Kentucky was #2, North Carolina #3, Louisville #4, and Ohio State #5.
And Grayson Allen's a guy who stepped onto the court just for a couple of seconds in the first half, but this is a big-time talent. You've seen this guy play in high school, right?
Oh, he is a big-time talent, very explosive scorer, has tremendous scoring ability.
And a beautiful-looking shot, too. Mike Krzyzewski was raving about how smooth his jumper is. Dawson over Jefferson, and a foul on Emil Jefferson.
Nice move by Dawson to create the foul situation. He should have a big year this year, Dawson. He's got to be a big man on campus up there in Square Country. And he's right there, a little one-on-one down inside.
How about this if you're Tom Izzo? Duke's gone to the free throw line 15 times tonight. These will be just the 2nd and 3rd free throw attempts of the night for Michigan State.
Well, you know, Coach, it's a great looking at those stats. Hey, I'll tell you this. If I'm going to pick the best combination in revenue sports as a duo, I would go right to East Lansing. I would go to Mr. D'Antonio and Mr. Izzo. And I'm telling you, creeping close, Cutcliffe doing the job at Duke, along with a fair basketball coach who has a pretty good resume. He only has 985 W's. Hey, congratulations, Jim Boeheim. He was my coach of the week this week for winning his 950th game. I do my player of the week, coach of the week.
You stand right on the heels of Coach K. Winslow the miss. Michigan State running again. Tries the lob. Dawson the finish.
What a terrific play. Up and away. Little fun time. Let me jump and enjoy up in Spartan country over those two.
And it's down to 6. And it's back to 8. Man, does he have a wide variety of moves down to the block.
Well, he's so quick. When he makes that quick move to the goal, and he knows how to drop step, he knows how to really get post position and use his footwork. Great footwork.
Okafor now with 15. He's 7 of 8 from the field.
But he doesn't take many bad shots. He's going to take only good shots down low. He knows his ability. He has a good definition that defines his talent.
Forbes. And with an air ball, Costello with a putback.
He said, that's a pass. Give me an assist. Give me an assist and a block.
Up and down they go. 4 minutes into the second half here in Indianapolis. Kentucky and Kansas still to come tonight.
Big Ten will be really tough again this year. Wisconsin, everybody raving about them. I understand why with Decker and Kaminsky and company.
And Costello called for the foul, trying to bump with Okafor, keep him out of the lane. That's his second.
The two-man game right here. There's Trice. He's looking for his buddy. He sees him. Good peripheral vision. Finds him. It's the lob up on top. Great catch. Great timing.
I think we'll see that later as a Sports Center top 10 play without a doubt. There's a great look at it as Dawson flies in.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist sitting to my right. He liked it. So did Kemba Walker sitting next to him.
Costello's gone to the bench, and now Clark at 6'6" is in the game. And at least on that possession, he was defending Okafor, and Clark just got called for a foul to send us to the first media timeout of the second half. So Michigan State back within 6, but having trouble shutting down and containing Okafor. At the other end, though, flying high, Dawson and the Spartans hanging in.
Leader on our team, Trice is probably the best lead by example. They've understood what it takes to get to an eyelash from going to a Final Four. They understand and know what needs to be done. I think now we have camaraderie, chemistry, and great leadership, which maybe was lacking a little bit last year.
That's something we talked about a little bit in the first half, feeling they didn't have the kind of leadership of last year that they have this year with Trice and Valentine, who were co-captains. Trice is a senior, Valentine is a junior. And they also think, although he's a freshman, that Tum Tum Nairn has extraordinary leadership capabilities. And now it's going to be Okafor called for the foul. His second, back over to Michigan State.
That was a good call right there. He got a little bit too aggressive in the post. He lost a little bit of his poise that he's been demonstrating here. He's got to be patient down there, get a little physical with him, and there he is right there, bodying up. That's one of the things they talk about all the time. We're going to clean up that play in the post.
Trice high off the window. Doesn't get the bounce, but it stays with Michigan State. As Emil Jefferson just almost wound up in Shane Battier's lap over there under the basket.
Well, Duke's done a great job perimeter defense. Right now, you look at Michigan State, they're shooting 2 for 14 from the trifecta.
And despite that and foul trouble,
only down 6.
They're only down 6 here to Duke. Duke is ranked 4th. Michigan State is ranked 19th. Schilling. Bothered by Winslow. Look at the handle on Winslow. Look at the finish by Winslow.
That's a big-time play. He goes coast to coast. A little shake and bake, a little change in direction. Great front change. And he finishes real strong.
Okafor's gotten a ton of the publicity, but Justice Winslow is a player. He's got a dozen now, and the lead is 8.
I like the way you say he's a player.
He's a player, Dickie B.
He's a player.
So's that guy right there.
He's a player.
Yeah. Travis Trice is a guy we documented a little bit earlier. He's had a hernia. He's had a concussion. Remember the infection a couple of years ago? They didn't know what it was. He lost a lot of weight. It was a really scary situation over his summer. Cost him a couple of months, but he's healthy heading into his senior season.
Well, you know, he's a great leader. The greatest leader ever to wear a Michigan State uniform was Irvin Magic Johnson, the greatest.
Cook, no, runs it down.
Nice pass.
Winslow misses. And it's Michigan State ball.
I think about those teams when Magic played with Greg Kelso and Vincent. They were so special. Judd Hiko won that national title, 79. He'd be the guy that works here in this building, Larry Bird.
There's the drive and the finish by Winslow. Another great leader Michigan State had, Mateen Cleaves, who won a national championship under Tom Izzo in 2000. Speaking of Tum Tum Nairn, Cleaves had a great comment last week about Tum Tum. Did you hear what he said?
No,
he said, he reminds me of me.
Oh,
and that's a compliment.
It is, yeah.
There's Tum Tum with the ball.
Tell you one thing, Cleaves was a big-time leader. Nice screen up on top. Took this great jump in over. Nice look. Two-man play. There's that passing ability of Valentine. Penetrate, create, find the open man. Great vision. Tremendous vision.
Dickie V, we got a game.
Game on, baby. Game on. I told you the Spartans will not go away. They're not going to be intimidated by anybody. They play for a coach that's never been intimidated in his life.
And Jefferson driving and drawing the foul. If it's Clark, it's his fourth. And it is. It's going to be the fourth foul on Marvin Clark. He'll sit down and Brent Forbes will check back in for the Spartans.
Take a look at Denzel Valentine's passing ability right here. Great look. He had vision all the way. Good instincts, good basketball instincts. Dumps it with the left hand. Goes with the right hand. He can't make that play. So he slips it to the left hand and hands off. That was reminiscent of the days when Mr. Magic would give it to Greg Kelso and be slam jam bang.
So Clark to the bench with 4. Forbes back in. Other than that, they're doing okay. Matt Jones and Marshall Plumlee into the game for the Blue Devils.
Forbes can shoot the basketball. He's got that hand problem, but he's really a terrific shooter. They're going to win their share of games, I can guarantee you. And so is the team in white.
For the ACC, with Louisville coming in, especially this year, how loaded is that conference?
And Syracuse can be better than people believe, too. Kim McCullough's really good. Christmas has really improved. I think key for them will be the development of player Joseph at the point guard slot. Can't wait to see them Thursday with John Saunders.
Jahlil Okafor getting a little work done on his right leg on the bench right now. As Plumlee has, or right arm, excuse me, as Plumlee has checked in his place.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski told us before the game what he likes about his team. Guys have positions. Plumlee and Okafor are true centers. And you build around them.
Shot clock down to 5. Forbes, fade away from the baseline, no. And it's Duke ball.
This is the kind of game, Dan, you get an evaluation of your team. You get a true assessment. You don't get a true assessment when you're up 72 to 28 and you're playing some cupcake. You get a true assessment right here.
Suleiman off balance, no. And run down by Forbes. Michigan State can make it a one-possession game. Nice feed. And a foul on the floor committed by Matt Jones.
Sam, one thing about the kid, Tum Tum, he really runs the ball up the court. He's always looking to get the ball. There he is right there. Spots the open guy.
Meanwhile, Allen checks in as Suleiman goes to the bench. Grayson Allen, a freshman from Jacksonville, 6'4". And a top 25 prospect according to the ESPN 100 rankings coming into the season. A guy who can really shoot the basketball.
Shot selection so important. You win basketball games with teams that make the extra pass with a good shot.
Valentine, the pull-up.
That was a good shot. I mean, a 15-foot jump shot. He made that early in the game. That was a legit good shot. Quality teams take quality shots. Losers take bad shots.
Allen, tough shot. Not a great look there.
Not a good shot at all. Got numbers here.
And Valentine fouled by Cook. So a bad shot at one end leads to a run out at the other.
Quick Cook on to that foul. That's his first. Fourth on Duke.
ESPN's journey to the tourney presented by Sonic continues with the 2K Classic Championship game Friday at 7:30 on ESPN2. Then it'll be the Maui Invitational Championship coming up to Thanksgiving, believe it or not, November the 26th. Arizona's the headline team out there. The Battle for Atlantis Championship, a loaded field from the Bahamas, a field including the likes of Wisconsin, Florida, North Carolina, Oklahoma, UCLA, and on and on.
Wow. And I love Atlantis. One of my favorite places ever to go in terms of vacationing. Hey, the best game thus far early in the season or Stanford, Connecticut women's basketball.
Yes.
Tara Vanderveer with a big win over Geno's girls. 47-year-old one. I'll tell you this, they'll be back probably winning over 40 in a row.
Spartans fans making some noise. Their team has gotten back within 3.
Good defense right here, really matching up, giving a little help to one another. There's a screen by Plumlee. He lays that big body.
Shot clock at 10.
Nice help right there. Good step out, good switch.
And a foul against Michigan State as the Spartans bench erupts.
Yeah, they played great defense until that last second there with the foul.
We have a timeout. Duke leads 51-48.
Now Denzel Valentine fired up. And Sparty back in it.
Look at that emotion. Look at that emotion.
Classic, all a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic. Duke 51, Michigan State 48 as we send it back to Shane Battier.
I've had my eye on Matt Costello. He's doing a great job on Jahlil Okafor here in the second half. It's not easy. He's taking a lot of punishment. He's giving up about 25, 30 pounds to Jahlil Okafor. There's no glory in it, but he's doing a great job containing him here in the second half.
Yeah, Okafor was dominant at times in the first half. The Spartans have had more success against him here in the second half. Okafor's been called for an offensive foul as well. And Costello and Schilling's in the game now. Kind of a tag team combo, just trying to do the best they can.
Well, they're very physical players. Very physical, and they're using that physicality to try and keep him away from getting the lean. He's got good post position right there. They missed him. He got the baseline for a layup.
Matt Jones. Aaron stays with him. Michigan State really moving their feet on defense.
They're really playing as a team defense. There's been a lot of help. Stepping the lanes on drives.
And Winslow just makes a play.
He did make a play.
Yeah.
He's so explosive with that left hand coming across the lane.
He's got 14. He is something else.
He's got some hops too, man. He's got some hops.
The lead back to 5 for Duke.
What time is it? It's like Barishnikov on the sideline, running up and down that sideline.
He's like Barishnikov.
I thought it was Louis Carnesecca. I thought I was watching Louis Carnesecca.
Schilling. And Okafor's size bothering him.
Well, he had the layup on the right side. He went to the left side. Good diagonal pass.
Coming off the screen, Tyus Jones. Cook finds him.
Trying to play a little two-man game with his buddy. He did a job defending him on the box. Schilling playing him tough. Trying to beat him to the spot.
Now the screen. Winslow driving again. Open man is Cook. Yes.
Nice little execution. Good two-man play. Good finishes it off from the perimeter.
And Cook now with 13. Winslow's got 14. Okafor's got 15 to lead Duke. And Denzel Valentine called for the offensive foul. Got a forearm up into the chops of Matt Jones.
Right now, down 8 Michigan State. The next 4 minutes, big, Dan. They can't allow a spurt here by Duke. Oh, there's no question about that. No question.
Trice in for Nairn.
Travis Trice back in for the Spartans.
Valentine did not like the call, his third. Valentine's got 11 to lead Michigan State. Dawson's got 10. They could really use some better outside shooting. They're 2 for 14. Forbes is 1 for 5 from beyond the arc.
That's really hurt them from the perimeter, not making shots from the perimeter.
Costello back in guarding Okafor. The spin. And we've got a foul going against Jahlil Okafor. That'll be his third.
They got to get him number 4 if Michigan State wants a little luxury inside. Think about Chicago and all the great high school players over the years. Last year we saw Jamari Parker. You think about a Derrick Rose. I think about a guy who's living right near me. He was a great high school player. He went on to play with the Flying Illini, Marcus Liberty. When you think about that city producing so many, Anthony Davis, who's becoming a monster in the NBA, and he's still a kid.
Forbes the drive. Finds Dawson. And he misses the bank shot. Well, they could have used that one. It's an 8-point lead. Duke driving. Cook lays it in.
What a nice play by Cook. Nobody stops the ball. That's a no-no. You got to stop the progress of that basketball. Can't allow a guy to penetrate, go to the length of the court and convert.
A quick 7-0 run for the Blue Devils. After Michigan State had it down to 3. Nice look. Wide open Forbes. Nails it.
And that's what his expertise is. The ability to shoot the basketball. Nothing like a three-pointer to give you some life.
He had 81 threes last year with Cleveland State. And now another Duke foul.
Yeah,
and it's Okafor.
That's 4 on him.
Yeah. Well, mark down the time and the score right now. 7-point lead, 8:59 to go. Okafor to the bench. Some minutes coming now for Marshall Plumlee.
He gave him a lot of positive minutes last year. He kept getting better and better. Hustle, gave him some good screens with his big body.
And Dick, if I'm remembering properly, 3 of the 4 fouls on Okafor have come at the offensive end of the floor.
Yep, you're right.
Here's Valentine, tipped away by Matt Jones.
Nice play by Jones.
Deflection. Or Tyus Jones, rather. Forgive me, Tyus Jones. And he gets it back and lays it in. Forbes from the same spot, not this time. Now Cook says, let's slow it down, call a play.
That's a good defensive play by Tyus Jones, deflecting the ball and then getting the conversion in transition. Taking a turnover and getting a layup.
9-point lead in the ball for the Blue Devils.
A nice matchup here, Dawson and Winslow. Who's going to win this battle? Get the veteran against the type of dandy.
Shot clock at 3.
Oh, he fouled him. And he fouled him. That's a killer, my friend. Yep. That is a killer.
It's a chance for a 4-point play for Tyus Jones, and it's the 4th foul on Denzel Valentine.
Wow. Dude shoots a J and it gets wet, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Somebody tweeted me that. They said, I wish you would use that on here. I used it for you. I take care of the fans.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Now tonight's Better State Assist brought to you by State Farm, and the freshman Tyus Jones causing a turnover. And then getting the ball back from Justice Winslow, freshman to freshman, for the lay-in, and then Jones showing he can shoot the ball as well, Dickie B.
Hey, lets this long-range jumper go. Nothing but nylon, and he gets fouled on a play as well. Big turnaround right there. Big turnaround.
And they're shooting the 3 well. They're 6 for 12 from the 3-point range tonight. Michigan State's 3 for 16. That's a big reason in the ballgame why Duke's ahead.
That's an absolute difference maker.
And the fouls we mentioned is on Denzel Valentine, is 4th. So he has gone to the bench. So Okafor's on the bench with 4 for Duke. Valentine's on the bench with 4 for Michigan State. And all of a sudden it's 13. How did that happen?
They got down to 3, didn't they not? So Spurt, Duke very explosive in transition, takes turnovers, makes layups out of them.
Trice too strong. Still loose, and it's Duke ball.
Duke ball.
To me, there's no doubt this Duke team is better than the team last year. I mean, they lost to Mercer last year, but they had a good year, obviously. But they got beaten in the tournament. And with Duke, the definition is, at Kentucky as well, and a lot of these programs, it's what you do in a tournament. Really, you talk during the regular season all you want.
Winslow, and he's fouled by Dawson.
Winslow's been very impressive.
And now into the bonus go the Blue Devils. We talked a little bit about Duke and Carolina, Louisville. We didn't mention Virginia. We shouldn't forget that
Virginia's
the Cavaliers are the defending regular season and tournament champions in the ACC, and they bring a lot back.
And I also like that. Talk about Brogdon, talk about Gill, Anderson. They got a lot of quality players. Toby's going to get better and better.
And when you've got programs like Pittsburgh and Notre Dame, I mean, it's
no cupcakes.
The league's crazy.
No cupcakes. Well, same in the Big Ten. There's no cupcakes. You're going to win. Play on the road.
Trice, another three.
He's got to make some threes. He made big threes against Navy, which helped them get that W. They were on the ropes there, struggling. I like Trice though.
Ten-point lead for the Blue Devils. Less than 7 minutes to go here in Game 1 of the State Farm Champions Classic as Trice fouls Matt Jones. And 1-and-1 coming for Jones.
You know, you look at Duke's basketball team, the components. I mean, they got 3 freshmen starting. So it's a little bit, games like this, they're going to make them better and better in getting the experience, playing in physical games, playing on a road, playing in a neutral site.
We'll see some great freshmen coming in the second game as well. Of course, Kentucky has a very deep class, as they always do. Carl Anthony Towns, Trey Lyles, Devin Booker, Tyler Ulis, terrific player.
He might have been a difference player for them along with Lyles in that game against Buffalo.
And for Kansas, you'll see some freshmen, another Chicago kid, Cliff Alexander, Devontae Graham out of Raleigh, Kelly Oubre from New Orleans. So a lot of good young players on display here in both games tonight.
In that next game, you have 13 McDonald's All-Americans, 13 on the floor.
Well, Kentucky's got 9. Duke's got 9.
Wow. I would have wished to have 1. Nice pass.
Nice play. Trice to Dawson.
That combination should have a big year for the Spartans. And they're going to have a big year. If they're going to have a great season, 3 guys have to really be the catalyst. Valentine, Trice, and Dawson.
Jones. Count it.
Little isolation one-on-one move. Came in sort of like a duo with his buddy Okafor. They made a pact to come together.
Michigan State was in on that. They wanted them badly. Kansas was in on that.
Who wouldn't want them? Who wouldn't want those 2 guys?
Jones did not score in the first half. He's got 11 points here in the second half.
That big play was the 3 when he was fouled on that 3.
And Duke has actually extended the lead since Okafor went to the bench with his 4th foul. Now, to be fair, Valentine went to the bench for Michigan State a short while later, but Duke has played well without Okafor. Costello. Now Dawson. 15-footer good.
They need Dawson. Put points on the board for them. He's got a great body, man. He's strong.
As you mentioned, he played great at the end of the year, the postseason last year for Michigan State. If he can play like that over an entire season, that's one of the reasons why people say he's not only an all-Big Ten caliber player, maybe a guy who's going to get a lot of national attention. At the other end, another drive.
Too many drives to the basket, unmolested. And that's really not a team defense constructed by Tom Izzo.
Cook's got 17.
Too many guys going to the lane. Look at this here. I mean, he can't allow him to go to the basket like this. You got to step over, close that driving angle. Got to step in front.
Matt Jones, his 3rd foul at this end. And 1-and-1 coming for Dawson. Quinn Cook, 17 tonight, now averaging 16 a game through the first 3 games of the season for the Blue Devils, as Dawson misses the front end. Costello to rouse the rebound.
Little contact inside by Plumlee. You know, don't forget Michigan out in the Big Ten either. John Beilein's club, first will always be well coached, and then their perimeter players are excellent. I mean, the kid Levert and the kid certainly Walton's going to get better and better. Had a good strong year for a freshman.
Okafor back in. He sat for 3 minutes and 37 seconds, and during that time, Duke turned a 7-point lead into a 13-point lead.
So are you saying they're better without him? Are you inferring that?
No. If I would be implying it, but I didn't do that.
I'm only having fun. Well, it's great to be back.
Great to have you back.
Great to be back.
They played well in his absence, and give a guy like Quinn Cook a lot of credit. Tyus Jones played great. They got a lot of different weapons this year.
They got 10 players that can play. They got a 1 to 10. They're not playing the platoon system. He walked. He got away with a walk. He definitely walked right there. No doubt about it.
But Michigan State gets the ball back.
How can I, with one eye, see that, and 3 guys on the other end, when you look at 6 eyes, couldn't see it? I don't understand it.
Bryn Forbes knocks down another 3, down to 10. 4:40 to go.
You know, Forbes played in high school with Denzel Washington, so when he transferred.
Denzel Valentine.
I meant Valentine. I love Denzel Washington.
I knew you were going to do that at some point today.
He is my favorite actor right out there today. No doubt. I love him. But Valentine, you're right. That's a turnover, man.
Yeah, you're allowed. You handle the rock a lot. It's okay to turn it over every now and again. Tyus Jones, another basket. He's 15 all in the second half.
He has really come big here in that second half.
And Travis Trice at the other end.
Trice says anything you can do, I can do better. I'm a veteran. You're a diaper dandy, Tyus.
But right now, trading baskets not good enough for the Spartans.
They got to make something happen defensively. Great spacing. See the spacing, my dude? Makes it so difficult for you to give it help, to get double teams. Always 15 to 17 feet apart.
High screen by Okafor. Winslow goes the other way and draws the foul on the drive.
It's incredible when you look at here at Mike Krzyzewski's resume, Dan. His resume, Danny Schulman, is unbelievable. He has a chance maybe to get a job if it opens.
Back here in Indianapolis, an 11-point lead for the Blue Devils over the Spartans. We've talked a lot about the freshman class for Duke, talked a lot about Okafor. Winslow's been great, but Tyus Jones has been sensational in the second half.
He's had 15 points in the second half. He's made 4 big baskets, 5 free throws. He's done a great job defensively. There he is finishing after creating that opportunity with his defense. Here he is getting fouled on a 3-pointer. There he is right now, working a little jump shot, change of direction. Very quick to the basket, very quick step. He and Cook will really form a really nice backcourt. And when you can come in, support them with guys like Suleiman and Allen, and they're strong basketball team.
The freshmen have combined for 44 points tonight for Duke. Tyus Jones 15, Jahlil Okafor 15, Justice Winslow 14. Allen has played sparingly.
Tell you one thing, Dan, they may be freshmen in class. They're not freshmen as players. When you look at Okafor, Jones, and Winslow. Michigan State got themselves in foul trouble. A couple of key players out with injuries. When they get all their parts, they're going to win a lot of games.
Trice from the wing.
That's been really what a big time rebound.
What a rebound by Dawson.
That's going laterally. Yeah. Guys can go laterally for rebounds, man. That's big.
And now draws the foul. Some things you just can't teach.
No, and that's one of them. 3-point shot has been really non-existent for them. They got to make some of those threes, and they certainly have a capable shooter in Trice and Forbes.
Number 3 on Winslow. So Brandon Dawson trying to live up to all the potential and the hype that he's had for 3 years. This is his senior season. This is the front end, second time tonight that he has done that. And Michigan State, they've missed some threes, haven't shot the 3 well. They've left some points on the free throw line.
Have foul trouble.
Yeah, foul trouble, committed some turnovers. Could have been a different result.
They battled. Sometimes too much talent overrides that. Certainly Okafor's a difference maker. He really is. Even though they played him very tough here in the second half, contained them basically.
Cook off to Okafor, and he just lays it in. Largest lead of the game now for Duke.
So smooth. He really is so smooth around the basket. You just don't see too many guys to go true low post centers. He's a true low post center.
He is 8 for 11 tonight. He's 25 for 31 from the field in 3 games so far this year.
He's going to catch the ball around the basket. Here he is with the score inside. Very smooth.
He does make it look easy sometimes.
He does.
The Puerto Rico tip-off begins Thursday, 10:30 in the morning Eastern Time on ESPNU. It'll conclude Sunday with a championship game on ESPN2. Showed you the field before, including the defending national champions, the Connecticut Huskies, are there. Speaking of the Huskies, Coach Calhoun, the Hall of Famer, will be part of the broadcast for the second game tonight when Kansas takes on Kentucky. And speaking of the Huskies, Kemba Walker's sitting about 5 feet away from us.
Kemba Walker in the house, took a picture with Kemba and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I put him up on Twitter and I said, hey, try to name these guys. Hey, my guy Bert Magnus is in the house too. Wow, he told me to say that. So hey, if you're listening, John Wildhack, Magnus told me to use his name.
There's Kemba Walker, Charlotte guard. Charlotte taking on the Indiana Pacers in this building tomorrow night. So he'll get a chance to visit with his former coach when Coach Calhoun comes out to the floor for the second game.
Nice ball movement right there. Good ball movement.
Tipped by Dawson. Saved by Dawson almost. No, out of bounds. As he is saved by Pat Driscoll, one of the officials, and it'll be Duke ball.
Hey, Dan, I picked my player of the week. You probably never heard of him, but he was brilliant. Marcus Marshall of Missouri State. All he did was score 38 of his team's 64 points in a win over Eastern Illinois. My team of the week was Charleston Southern. Why? Game-winning dunk to beat Mississippi. Coach of the week, Jim Boeheim, getting his 950. Shock of the week, Holy Cross, without Bob Cousy, without Togo Palazzi, without Tom Heinsohn, beat Harvard.
Inside 2 minutes to go. Dick, you're in mid-season form. You're raring to go.
I'm raring to go, man. I love it.
Tyus Jones, Matt Jones. Rebound Dawson. And Trice with a strong driving layup. That's 15 or 15 now for Travis Trice.
Doesn't he
high score for Michigan State.
He impresses me.
Oh,
he really does, because we know he can shoot the ball. He's driving to the basket, playing with confidence. I look for a big year out of Travis Trice.
He's a tough kid, too.
Very tough. Leader. This is a good game for Michigan State. Find out a lot about their team. Find out what they got to work on. Most of all, they got to get healthy. Gotta love this guy. Just a matter of time when the call comes, Hall of Fame.
Michigan State next week, they'll be playing in a tournament down in Orlando, the Orlando Classic. There's a chance they could play Kansas. You'll be there.
I'll be there for that. Yeah,
it's a drive for you.
Right, it's a drive. Can't wait to go to Orlando. See Tom there. What a generous guy. Can't say enough what he's done for my gala. The money he's donated is unreal. Last year was very emotional. Lacey Holsworth had just lost her life, and we did a unbelievable moment for her mom and dad. And Lacey will never, ever be forgotten. She was the face of Michigan State last year with Adrian Payne. What a story.
Minute and a half to go. And Valentine fouled by Cook.
It's amazing how sometimes one moment can change the complexion of a game. I thought the big shot by Jones getting fouled really changed.
Jahlil Okafor on the bench, presumably for the rest of the night, if that's all for him. 17 points and 5 rebounds tonight for the freshman.
You and Jay got to be excited to see that Kentucky team taking on Kansas. Talk about two programs with rich tradition, unreal, so many McDonald's All-Americans. Trying to keep them happy, and then your beat keeps going on. He just signed a couple more for next year. Kid in Briscoe's coming out of New York City, a terrific guard.
Well, Kentucky's got the most wins in Division I history. Kansas is second. Kentucky's won more SEC championships than all other SEC programs combined. And Kansas, as you know, under Bill Self, they've won the last 10, either outright or shared. 10 in a row regular season Big 12 championships. That's remarkable.
You still got to go through Lawrence, man. Everybody's talking about Texas, and Texas is going to be very good with Miles Turner coming aboard. Ridley.
Too.
Oklahoma's going to be very good, yeah.
Cook cradles and lays it in.
I can't understand how he's able to get to the basket so efficiently with nobody rotating over him.
Final minute. And the Blue Devils on their way to a win. It'll be the second time that they have played Michigan State in the Champions Classic, and the second time they beat. Tipped in by Dawson. Well, if you're looking for a positive for Michigan State, if Dawson can play like this, Dick, they're going to be a very good team.
Yeah, Dawson with the great bounce off the floor. Got to stay out of foul trouble.
16 points and 9 rebounds tonight for Dawson. One negative, I guess, is the free throw shooting, 2 for 5. They are getting ready.
The Big Blue, man. They talk about passionate fans. You see blue almost all over this place. Big Blue, man. They love their Kentucky Wildcats.
And that's how big they are. They are the biggest team in college basketball, and their average height is bigger than every NBA team except for one. 9 of their top 10 players are 6'6" or bigger. 6 of them are 6'8" or taller.
You know what's different with this club? They got the great freshmen, but they got guys returning like Poitras and the Harrisons. There's a done, finishing style.
Dawson from Trice again.
Playing hard right to the last whistle. But the Kentucky team with Harrisons and with Poitras and Willie Cauley-Stein, they got veteran players returning with the great freshman class. Well, my friend, have fun in that next game. It's been a lot of fun sitting here, seeing these young diaper daddies for Duke and a real tenacious Michigan State team. Gave it all, but just didn't have enough.
Jay Billis will join me for the second game. Kentucky and Kansas. The Duke Blue Devils defeat the Michigan State Spartans 81-71 in the first game of the State Farm Champions Classic here from Indianapolis. An outstanding performance by their freshmen of Okafor and Jones and Winslow. All 3 of them in double figures as they hand the Spartans a loss. Michigan State now 1-1. Duke goes to 3-0 on the season, and we are about 25 minutes away from the Kentucky Wildcats and the Kansas Jayhawks tipping it off in the second game from the State Farm Champions Classic. Let's go to Andy Katz and Coach K.
All right, thank you, Dan. It seemed like a crucial point in the game. Could have been when Jahlil Okafor picked up that 4th foul, and then Tyus Jones comes up with that play, deflection, and the converted layup. What did you think of that possession by Jones?
I thought in the second half, Tyus was amazing. You know, we got a lot of young guys, so they're feeling it out. And the Spartans played really hard. But Quinn and Tyus together in the backcourt seemed to settle us down. And then we got really good minutes from Matt Jones, who came in and played real tough.
So how would you assess Jahlil's first game on this kind of stage?
No, really good. You know, he's got to know that there's a lot of bumping, and he's going to have to repost. And you know, also, Andy, for the freshmen, it's like an NCAA tournament game. I thought our freshmen were tired. You know, they wanted to play tonight so badly. And Ja did a really good job, and we'll get more comfortable playing with him.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dan.
Andy, thank you. Win number 986 for Coach Mike Krzyzewski.